Hello, everybody. It's so great to be with you this week.
Hello, everybody.
We have been getting so many questions, Dr. Heidi. I don't know, I guess when a certain product gets heavily marketed, then all of a sudden it becomes the talk of the town. And the talk of the town, or so many of the questions both you and I all of a sudden have got lately, is all about colostrum. What's colostrum? Should I take colostrum? Is this colostrum good? And we thought, okay, right, if we've heard the question like 2 or 3 or 4 times, people have the question. We should talk about it.
We should have that conversation. Absolutely. Yep. And if I've had it 3 times and you've had it 3 times, that's 6 times. We got to do it.
We got to do it, you guys. So we're going to take you back to even what is colostrum, and then what's the idea behind it, and then how to look for a great colostrum or who kind of needs it. So we'll just kind of start and give you this behind the scenes of what it even is. So maybe, Heidi, we can start there.
Sure. So colostrum is a pre-milk substance that is produced by mammary glands, say that fast, by all mammals, right? That includes humans, right? So we make this pre-milk directly after a new birth, so after a newborn. And it is a very, very special substance because it contains, it's not like any food out there, and it contains immunofactors, growth factors, protective proteins, and all the nutrients that a baby or a newborn needs to survive, right? If they don't get this, they don't get the signals. The colostrum is a signaler. And what's important to note is that it's necessary for the immune system to turn on, to start responding, it gives you the growth factors that help the gut then heal, because newborns are born without their guts completely healed or completely formed. And so they come out with leaky gut. And right now everyone has a trouble with leaky gut, and yet we're born with it, but it quickly wants to close. And that's why it's important to get that colostrum in there and that growth factor to finish building out the muscles, the bones, and the guts and the organs, but mostly that gut lining to start forming better lining and protective mechanisms.
Wow. That's really just so interesting because, people talk about like, should I breastfeed? Should I not? Are there benefits? And today, that's not a conversation that we're going to have. This isn't for new moms.
Right.
But what we're seeing out there is, what are those benefits that a newborn is getting that is so amazing in these early stages? Why would somebody now try to go form products for other people to be using? So maybe first let's talk about the benefits of it for people today. And then we'll kind of say, like, again, because people still think it's like a milk-derived product, how exactly is it created now that you're not getting it from, say, mama's milk, right? Like, where are we getting it from then?
Right. So it's very interesting because, and you can go down rabbit holes, but human colostrum, right, is predominantly made up of IgA. That is a specific immunoglobulin for linings and immune system response. Cow or bovine colostrum actually is predominantly IgG. So it's a little bit what we don't get for mama, but they're both massive signalers to our immune response to be antibacterial, antiviral, to help the immune system right out of the chute, if you will, to protect us from these things, and so that we can develop and grow and thrive. And so having those specific immunoglobulins is important to have. Now, as baby, we really need those. Predominantly IgG in a bovine is so that cow can get up and start running. So those muscles and that growth factor really helps those tissues tighten, and so baby can get up and start running. Our babies, we don't run yet. We're sort of floppy for a while, so we're predominantly IgA. It's key to brain health, gut health, immune health. As we get older, if people take colostrum again, we sometimes lose that signaling that colostrum provides, or our immune system has been given. It's sort of run out of oomph because of various challenges, et cetera, and things like that. So taking colostrum really helps because it does repair the gut. It does help with leaky gut syndrome. And these are proven benefits, right? It supports immune health. It can help regulate diabetes. It's profound in its effect on autoimmune cascades and autoimmune firing, right? To really dampen that down. Colostrum also can help with the infections, food-borne viruses that we get or are exposed to all the time, right? There's probably over 5,000 people a year that die from food poisoning, and they're predominantly Salmonella, E. coli, and H. pylori, and colostrum actually kills those.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, it's profound. And when you think about now how so much conversation since the Princess of Wales has stomach cancer or cancer, yeah, gastrointestinal cancer, and she's so young, and the conversation now being with younger people being diagnosed with this, it's profound. And a lot of that leads, H. pylori is one of the leading causes of stomach cancer, esophageal cancer, and yet it goes undetected for a long time in people. But if we had a steady or even occasional colostrum reboot, this could help reduce any chances of those food-driven diseases, illnesses, reduce the risk of those happening to us. So lots of profounds. The list is huge, but those are some of the main ones that have show up in the studies.
So I really love that. And I think now people are willing to really take control of their health, but unfortunately they're getting counterfuls of stuff. And on top of that, they just see an ad or they see it in the store. And so they just buy it. And they don't really realize that colostrum is, quote, a supplement, something additional we're taking. It's all nutrition, you guys. I kind of just put it in the big food basket, right? Your supplements are all just part of your food or your activators or whatever you're taking. It's all part of your food basket. And where you get the source matters. We know about food. Heidi and I've talked so much about like why organic and why, certain things of like, the things are either the dirty dozen or like the clean 15 of how to make sure you're looking at the foods we're getting. And in the supplement industry, because it's, quote, not FDA approved, it is heavily regulated. The unfortunate thing is how it's regulated. Certain companies take their own initiative to be very stringent and go above board. Other companies do the absolute bare minimum, and therefore there's a lot of counterfeit products out there, products that don't even have the ingredients they say they have in it in there. I mean, it gets really, really scary, especially when you're just buying it in bulk or off of Amazon. It's difficult. So colostrum is the same, meaning looking at the source is important. But even beyond that, Heidi, just like we've talked about, right? Not all colostrum's the same. Not all things are the same. Not all Nerf2 activators are the same. Not all, right, cars are cars.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about what somebody looks for and kind of just the difference to make sure they're really getting that clean source of colostrum. And maybe your favorite.
Yeah. What you really need to look for is that there is some marking, clear indications that this is the first milking. It is key because colostrum only it's only colostrum until about the 5th feeding. And then that's when it turns into as what we know as milk. And so the definition out there as colostrum and milk is very different from what it really is. Colostrum is a very different food from milk, and it doesn't have those milk proteins. The amount of lactose then increases, right? So we want to have a lower lactose in there so our stomachs can tolerate it, and that colostrum has to be that first 5 milkings. Baby bovine gets it first, and then generally about 3 gallons is unused, right? It then gets turned to milk. So this is where collections need to be done. So you need to look for first milking. You need to look for with cows that have never been near pesticides, antibiotics, corn fed, they have to be grass fed, because it all makes a difference on how that the makeup of that colostrum. And so all these factors have to come into play and have to be, timing has to be correct into getting the right colostrum and the pure, very therapeutic form.
Wow, that's amazing. So I hope you guys are really understanding that it might be something that you have in your house and you need all the time. If you're going through something at the time, maybe you have a wound that's not healing, you're suffering an autoimmune, you know you've got leaky gut, you've been off for a long time and nothing else is working. This would be a great addition to what you're taking. Of course, always consult your medical professional, whoever you're working with. But for other people, it might just be something in times when they know their immune system is low, and they feel like they need a little reboot when something else has happened in their life, that you want to really give your immune system some more support. Would that be correct, Heidi?
That would be a great thing. Yes.
Awesome. And then just tell everybody, like, what's your favorite? Because I know, again, we all have what we're using and we've done the research and why, and everyone's going to ask, well, what would be the one you would recommend?
Yeah. So colostrumtherapy.com, gastrodefense.com. It used to be called Sovereign Labs Colostrum. That was the original name. And then they've since changed the name, but the gastrodefense.com would be the website to go to. They're one of the first to package it, to really take that time in the process of capturing it, drying it, and breaking down into those small isolate particles. It's just a really, really terrific product.
Wow. You guys, I hope this was really educational, informational, without getting into the weeds, because I know we can go deep diving into the science and the biochemistry and everything, but most of you guys, that's not what you're looking for. You come to hang out with Heidi and I to get some advice, to kind of sift and sort, to go like, is colostrum like a thing? I'm seeing it. Is it real? Should we take it? Why does an adult need it? So we hope we've answered those questions for you today. But if you still have more questions, reach out. We're happy to answer them as always. And we can't wait to bring you a topic again next week.
Yep. Think about it. If you have questions, let us know.
All right, you guys, always a pleasure. Until next time.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, you got to skedaddle.